it is for a very, very good reason. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and bid you all farewell, and I hope to see you all in the next tutorial where we shall further our understanding of Red Hat and of Linux terminal in general. Welcome all to this tutorial. Today I am going to talk about text editing and text editors. In general, I myself tend to use 2 to 3 text editors. One would be for graphics mode, that would be gedit, or not just gedit actually, depending on the version of desktop that I've installed. But that doesn't really matter to you. What matters to you are these terminal text editors, primarily because you will be dealing with a large amount of configuration files that you will need to edit from within your terminal. This is a very nice feature that you have in Unix-like systems, that you are able to edit all files in the terminal. So you have Nano, which is fairly simple. I do believe that it does come pre-installed, but it's way too simple for what we needed. Rather instead, what is a general text editor that pretty much everybody uses and that you can rest assured is installed by default on every Linux-like system. And I'm not just referring to the servers or to the desktop or to the Linux desktops or something of a kind, but rather instead, if you log into your routers via SSH or something of a kind, you will see that you do actually have a VI text editor installed there. So there's VI and there's Vim. Vim is simply the next version of VI. It's an abbreviation, it stands for VI improved. Anyway, all of these smaller devices, compact ones such as routers, something of a kind, most of them will have VI installed on them, which you can use to edit files and stuff like that, depending on what sort of router it is. But more importantly for you, as I've said, you will need VI editor in order to edit all sorts of files in Linux, in order to change the configuration and so on and so forth. But look, VI is not very user-friendly, that's for sure. I mean, everybody out there agrees on this particular matter. It is definitely not user-friendly, but it is quite powerful and you can do a great deal with it. Let me just go ahead and start VI. Basically, to edit a file, you would just type in VIM space or just VI, depends. But mostly now people just use Vim, VIM, and then you would type in the name of your file. I'm going to use my sample text. Is it here? It's called my sample text, sorry. VIM, my sample text. Now this file is already created and I have created some random text in it. Took me a while to actually write that text for you. But look, if let's say that it wasn't created at all, that there was no file, my random text or anything of a kind, my sample text, you could actually type in the name of the file here. So name of the file, and VIM would actually create the file. If you didn't save it, nothing would happen, of course, but by the time, if you did this, opened it, add some text, did something to it, and then saved changes, the file would be created. Of course, as before, you can also add path here, so path, oops, path to file. Anyway, you can also create a path here and create a file and edit it anywhere on your file system. So anywhere, doesn't matter. You can just set the path as long as you have the right permissions, you will be able to do it. But for the time being, let's go ahead and open up this file. So my sample text. I know, it's an awesome text. Anyway, it's just a random text that I have created for the purposes of this exercise because we needed some text form so we can manage it, edit it, change it, we can search through it, etc. Now Vim has 2 basic modes. One mode is insert and another one is command. So for command mode, you would just type in, I am currently in my command mode, and if I want to I can press certain buttons on the keyboard which will cause things to happen. We will go over this, but I can also go ahead and press semicolon. Oops, sorry. I can also go ahead and press semicolon, and you can see that the bottom changes. Let me just show you what I mean by it. Okay, so once again, please monitor the bottom of the screen. I press semicolon, and there you go. Now I can type in commands here. Notice this is not the text which will be added to the file or something of a kind, although you can pass such commands. This is just the command mode where we issue commands to VIM in order for us to perform certain tasks, such as save things. So if you want to save something, you would press W. If you wanted to quit, you would press Q, or something like that. These commands that you pass to VIM can be extremely simple, like single letter commands that I'm passing here, or they can be literally several lines long. It all depends on what you are doing, although you're not going to have one that's several lines long. That's just a theoretical thing. You might have a kind of a complex command which is maybe one line long or something of a kind when you're searching for some extremely complex patterns or you're doing some complex filtering. But for your day-to-day average usage as a network administrator, you're not going to be basically compelled to do stuff like that. You will mainly just use VIM in order to edit file, change things, send them, perhaps find something, so on and so forth. Anyway, let's go ahead and deal with another mode. You would basically press escape to pretty much cancel this colon, so that the VI would no longer be accepting commands. And now if I wanted to enter insert mode where I can type things into the file, I would just press I. And you can see that the bottom changes again. It states that I am in effect now in the insert mode, and in the insert mode I can type in whatever I want. So whatever I want shall be done. Anyway, you can see that I can type in now whatever I want, but if you exit insert mode, you won't be able to type in anything. I'm pressing the keys on my keyboard, but I'm not getting the reaction that I want to get. Nothing is being typed in. So I hope you've learned, basically in this particular tutorial, just 3 things that I want you to remember. You have insert mode, you have command mode, and you have sort of 2 versions of the command mode where you don't have the semicolon down below, where you're not typing in commands, where you just press a letter on your keyboard, which I will show in the follow-up tutorial, several things there, and you cause a reaction. For example, you could go to the, I don't know, to the end, you could move the cursor to the end of the file or something of a kind, but you will be able to do this from the command line as well. And to summon the command line, semicolon, oops, sorry, you just type in the semicolon and type in the command here. So 3 things: insert, command mode, 2 types of command mode, either a semicolon here where you type in the commands, or where you just kind of press the buttons and you get to cause a reaction. Anyway, I bid you all farewell, and I hope to see you in the follow-up tutorial. Welcome back, everybody. We're just going to go ahead and continue with Vim. So now we are within this file. We have indeed opened it, and suppose we want to change something. Okay, so as I showed you before, just press I and you will enter insert mode. Now I have added one line at the end: whatever I want shall be done. That's a bit of a selfish thing to say, narcissistic I suppose even, but just a joke anyway. So if I just separate it like this so you can see it better, how would I save it? What would I do to exit the program and save it? Well, let's go ahead and exit the insert mode, because we need to enter the command mode for this, and type a colon in order to get a prompt to enter commands. So suppose I want to quit. what command have we used to quit programs thus